This time my viewers can decide. British Airways First Class has the nasty reputation of being just the best business class in the world. Is that fair and honest, or is it just mean-spirited, malicious gossip? We are flying from Chicago to London on a brand new British Airways Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner in first class. We'll take a look at all the details, service, food, drinks, the bed, and also how I booked this flight. And you decide afterwards what you think about the highest product of British Airways. But now let's start in the windy city, Chicago. Before the flight, I checked out the American Airlines flagship lounge in Chicago, which is a step above the regular Admirals clubs. It felt quite sterile and cold, but it had a good selection of hot and cold dishes and even real champagne. The lounge is not cozy though, and the fun factor that some US lounges can have was as much missing as decent relaxation rooms. There's only this corner here with 5 reclining chairs that offers no privacy. A good lounge for waiting with a view of the airfield, but you don't miss so much if you skip it. And here we are on board the Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner of British Airways. It was just delivered in August 2024, so it's brand new at this time of the report. And as brand new is this first class, of course. Super new first class seats. These are the most modern of British Airways, except for a few that are flying around in very few Boeing 777-300s. And they are actually the same kind of seat, just with a door in addition. British Airways First Class has the reputation still of being the best business class in the world. I don't think it's true, because it's really a proper, really nice first class seat. It's not the biggest in the world. Of course, that is Etihad First Class Apartments, Singapore Airlines First Class Suites that you see on my channel, but they are all in an Airbus A380. On a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, you don't get these huge first class suites, but you get really nice big seats, like here. So this is definitely first class and not business class. And there are really very nice features here on the seat, so let's have a look at the seat right away. So here's the first class seat. There's a large screen, and next to it is a small wardrobe that can hold a jacket or clothes while you sleep in your pajamas during the flight. Underneath there's a storage compartment, and next to it is an ottoman that you can pull towards you by hand. So it serves as a footrest, and later it becomes the foot end of the bed. The table can be pulled out of the beautifully polished side console. I thought the combination of metal, leather and polished lacquer surfaces is really elegant. Then there's a pretty individual table lamp, and then another storage compartment that contains 2 USB ports, a power socket and the remote control. The very intuitive operation knob for the seat and lamps is also pretty great once you understand it. And then next to the chair there's a small closet with a mirror to admire yourself or get depressed. This time I managed to be the first passenger on board the plane, so I could really film the whole business class cabin and also the first class cabin without disturbing any other passengers. That was really fantastic. And once everybody was here, we got a welcome drink. In my case, that was a champagne. That was one of the 3 sparkling wines here on the menu, and that was the really very nice L'Ensemble Blanc de Blanc Noble from 2005. That's a 2005 vintage, a really very nice champagne. Then they had some warm nuts, almonds, cashew nuts and pecan nuts, and then a nice hot wet towel. And the crew took the orders for the dinner. And by the way, very friendly crew. I mean, of course they're always friendly in first class, but here also they were really very, very nice and friendly. So I'm looking forward now. It's 7 hours to London. Quite a lot to discover here. So that was a really nice takeoff. Now let's have a look at the menu for this night flight. In first class we have dinner, of course. First there's an amuse-bouche, and then there's 3 different appetizers. One of them is a soup. Then there's 4 main courses. One of them is a vegetarian dish. Then there's 3 kinds of dessert and cheese, 4 kinds of cheeses, and then there's some snacks in between services. And then for breakfast, of course, we have juice and smoothie, and then we have some fruit and muesli, and then of course we have English breakfast here, so that's a full breakfast. Then we have poached eggs or French toast, and of course all kinds of breads and rolls and pastries. Then with it we have some teas. I mean, England is the country of teas in Europe, so of course we have a couple of teas here, and then there's espresso and other coffee specialties. Then there's juices, soft drinks, and then we have the wine list, and there's 3 different sparkling wines. Of course, the really outstanding one is the Lançon Vintage. That's a Noble Blanc de Blanc from 2005, a really nice and also quite pricey champagne. Then we have something really special, and that is English sparkling wine. So that's a Hattingley Valley Blanc de Noir from 2018. Of course we have to try that. Then we have 4 different white wines and 3 different red wines, and they don't look so bad actually. That's going to be interesting too. And then Sauterne Grand Cru and port wine as dessert wine. And then we have, of course, all kinds of spirits, and we have cocktails, mocktails, some long drinks, and all the really heavy liquor. If you like this and the well over 100 flight and travel reports on the 2 Travelzing Flight channels, then please give me a thumbs up, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel with the little bell next to it to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the exciting videos that are released here. You'll help the channel with all its free content to grow and become more visible. Keep looking around Travelzing Fly. There's for sure a few more reports that are just the right ones for you. It's so great to have you here. In first class there's of course more amenities than in the other classes of travel, so we have some nice slippers, blue and very nice and soft, and then there's PJs, pajamas, and also quite nice, and they're branded by Temperley London. And then we have the amenity kit, nice red velvet, it says first class, it's by Temperley, and of course we can have a look at it now, the British Airways First Class amenity kit. The British Airways First Class Amenity Kit is branded by Temperley here in a Christmas edition, and it contains lip cream, body lotion, facial spray, hand cream and deodorant from Elemis, earplugs, a mirror, a pen, sleeping mask, socks and toothbrush. It's really packed with useful things for the flight and afterwards. Depending on which airline you're flying, you can have quite different first class seats within one airline. Here at British Airways you have 3 different kinds of first class seats. First of all, the old version that you will find on the Boeing's 777-200s, which are really pretty old, way over 20-year-old planes you find there. And there you have the old version from 2010, and also on the Airbus A380 you also find that old version, and there the monitor screens are really much, first of all, much smaller, and also not so great. So yeah, anyway, here this is the really nice modern first class that actually is from 2015, but still very modern. This one is a newly produced seat, right? And then on a few Boeing 777-300s you will find this kind of seat with an additional door that makes it even more modern from 2020. So that's what you get on British Airways First Class. So today we're getting the beautiful vintage champagne, shaken, not stirred, because the turbulences are quite noticeable. And if you haven't seen it yet, you should really check out my report about Cathay Pacific First Class from Hong Kong to, I think, Paris or Frankfurt, because there the turbulences were so strong that the glasses moved by themselves on the table. Pretty impressive, and actually I find it quite fun. And after some pretty rough turbulences in the first hour of the flight, that are still continuing a little bit, we are starting dinner here with amuse-bouche, and that's a golden beetroot tartare with goat cheese and rosemary orange sauce. But the really interesting thing is this here. This is the English sparkling wine, and it tastes actually very nice and special. It's different from champagne, but it tastes quite good. I cannot say even that it tastes like a German sparkling wine or something. It's really very special. It had somehow peppery. It says it's cherry. I think it's peppery. Never mind. It's a Hattonay Valley Blanc de Noir from 2018. Really worth trying. Well, to be honest, I wanted to complain a little because here they don't have caviar service in first class of British Airways, which I don't find so important, but it's kind of an insignia of first class, right? But this is golden beetroot tartare, and it's really delicious. There's some fennel seed, I think, and something like that. Really, really very good. They have garlic salmon instead of caviar, but this is also really nice. So we're having the first real appetizer, and it's actually salmon, and that's one smoked salmon and some garlic salmon. Now it just tastes like smoked salmon and smashed smoked salmon, so that's a little pity. Oh, it's still good, of course. Really interesting is this here. This is a rosé wine from Provence. That's a Rock Angel from 2022, and it's not an orange wine. It only looks orange. Orange wines exist too, but this is a rosé wine, and the color comes from being fermented in oak barrels for over 6 months. And it's really very interesting flavor, very interesting bouquet, and also taste. Really, really nice. And very unusual for a rosé wine. So we're getting to an end with dinner here with this cheese plate. Actually, appetizers were good, main course was okay. I just don't understand what is special about Turkey. I know America and England love turkey as a festive dish. I don't understand why, because there's no special taste to it. I'm more a goose, duck, goose and venison kind of person, but it's a matter of taste, of course. Then the dessert, I was not convinced. It's also a traditional thing, Yule cake, so that was not my taste, but the cheese platter is really very nice. 4 different kinds of cheeses, and the crackers are very special, especially this dried fruit bread. That is really very special. I never had it like this before. So, altogether, I have to say that it's not extravagant. You don't have extravagant dishes that you might expect in first class, but it's good. And the sauterne is beautiful. Look at the golden color. So beautiful. So it's become really silent around me. Everybody seems to go to sleep already. And don't worry, nobody can hear me here. Actually, this is just a really good microphone. And I have a quite good voice, I think, as a singer. And now they will make my bed here. That's part of first class, of course. They will do the bed, so that's really nice. also a reason why these flights are called red-eye flights, because you have red eyes. After only 6 hours or 7 hours you already arrive, and you have 6 or 7 hours to start, eat, watch a movie, sleep, have breakfast, all together in 6-7 hours, so that's not very much. But the bed is really very nice, you know, it's wide and comfortable, and there's a nice mattress topper and a very nice blanket here. Really nice, thick but not too thick. And the seat is wide, you have lots of leg room, you have a lot of room for your arms, so that's really very good. Thank you so much. So it would be really much nicer to have another 4, 5, 6 hours just to enjoy the seat, to enjoy the bed, and to just sleep, right? Now breakfast is already coming. I'm having already some orange juice here, and there's some cappuccino, croissant bread, and then I'm gonna have some full English breakfast, of course. These flights between London and the US East Coast, or also Chicago, are not very long, but they're quite expensive because they're just high demand flights, so they're almost always full, and the more there's demand, the more expensive the flights are, right? So the prices are really quite steep. Of course, you can book this flight with miles. You can book it through British Airways, Iberia or Qatar Airways, for example, with the Airways program. And the problem is, if you book with those programs, you pay quite high fees. If you fly with miles of Cathay Pacific Asia miles, you pay much less when it comes to the fees. So that is really very nice. They don't let you pay incredibly high amounts of fees. And then interesting when it comes to Asia miles is from London to, or between London and Chicago, you pay 100,000 miles. However, if you have another connecting flight that is in business class and that is still in the same distance band as, like, for example, London to Chicago, then the whole amount of 100,000 miles gets reduced, because a part of it is in business class, and that reduces the overall 100,000 miles to a lower price, or to a lower amount of miles. So you fly actually longer, but you pay less miles. Well, guys and girls, I have to say, on a 6 or 7 hours flight, after even having a double dinner, actually, because I tried 2 dishes per course, right, just to show you, of course, and then having a short rest, and then having English breakfast, that's a little too much, even for my stomach. So I think I cannot eat it all. Of course, also English breakfast is not really a culinary highlight, it's just English breakfast, but also here it's not so good, actually. So I'm a little surprised, especially this, which is supposed to be hash browns, maybe. It's really not well done. Strange. But okay, the muesli was good. Here we see something really interesting at the windows, by the way. The Dreamliner doesn't have window blinds, but the windows can be completely dimmed. So right now we have actually fully bright day already outside, full daylight, and inside it's really quite dark still, really like night. And actually it's a chemical reaction that takes place between 2 windows here in our windows here, and just by the push of a button there's an electric chemical reaction and the windows get dimmed.
Flight deck captain, so hope you'll enjoy the flight with us and manage to get some rest overnight.
Of course, I still have to say something about the entertainment here. There's a really very nice TV screen here, very nice wide screen and very bright, very nice colors, and you can operate it as a touch screen or also here with the handset. So remote control, you can also operate the TV. highlight of British Airways First Class is the Concorde Room at London Heathrow, a lounge that is accessible to first class passengers only. If you land in first class and fly out of Heathrow on the same day on British Airways, no matter in which class you are, you also have access here. There's an a la carte restaurant, a bar, showers and also some private rooms with bathrooms. The lounge itself was almost cozy with its Christmas decorations, but still quite full and not as chic as you might expect. The selection of food and drinks, however, was definitely first class. The Concorde Room is reminiscent of the legendary Concorde that flew for British Airways, and an original nose tip is on display on the inside terrace of the lounge's restaurant.
On this flight I'm traveling again with hand luggage by level 8, and on this very chic first class, of course, with very chic hand luggage, and that's this aluminum hand luggage by level 8 that is not only really beautiful to look at and really elegant, but also really very well done inside, very well equipped, and then it has fantastic wheels. I actually owned almost all the famous and expensive brands already, but this here is really an outstanding piece of luggage. Also after a year, the wheels roll over uneven surfaces like it's nothing. So it's really an absolute recommendation.
The Gibraltar aluminum suitcase is a true gem, but also the other pieces of luggage of level 8 have not only great designs, but are also really practical. The large check-in luggage of the Voyager line, for example, is not only perfectly equipped inside and has the same high-performance wheels, but it also puts an end to back problems when lifting it into the trunk. Another real highlight is the level 8 backpack with countless inside and outside pockets, perfect laptop protection and steel cable handles. Extremely high quality and simply fun to use.
Have a look at the video description. You get all luggages of level 8, this one, and also the very big one, the checked luggages, at a really good discount.
So, if you're interested, just click the link in the video description and enter the discount code before paying, and then enjoy your great new luggage.
So my dear ones, we're descending into London Heathrow now. How was this flight? First of all, the staff was really lovely. There were 2 crew members responsible for first class, for these 8 seats in first class, 1 lady, 1 gentleman, and they were really lovely, really friendly, attentive, proactive. But not only that, you also saw it, they did not really act after a rule book, or not obviously after a rule book, but they were just very good at their job. So that was really very nice, and very nice to interact with them. So very good experience. Then when it comes to food and beverages, the catering, I must say that was not up to what I would expect from first class. The ingredients of the food were not exceptional. It was just like very good business class level, I would say. Nothing extraordinary. And when it comes to the drinks, and I say that not extraordinary because the prices here are really extraordinary. Of course, it's first class, it's super expensive, so we have to have some really extraordinary catering. So when it comes to the drinks, the champagne was, of course, first class level. There was very good champagne, this Noble by Lançon, and very nice find was also the English sparkling wine, quite interesting, and I would buy it again, really nice. The rest of the wine list was also just very good business class level, but not what I would expect in first class. There we need to have a really outstanding red wine, outstanding white wines, and they did not have that, except for the Sauternes. There was a nice, good Sauternes. The seat is very nice and wide at the shoulders, at the legs, lots of space, very well done. There's all these little things that you see here on the seat, so that was very, very well thought out. There's a lot of space for the feet, lots of space for the shoulders. Then when you lie down, you get your mattress topper and you can sleep very nicely for a long time, promised. Entertainment is also nice when it comes to the monitor screen, very nice bright and wide monitor screen. It's a little sad that we have only these kind of headsets. If they just invested maybe 100 euros more per headset, you would have a really good quality. Here it's mediocre. But okay, Then we have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi that also works and that fast. So that was a very positive surprise, and it's for free, at least in first class. And that's, funny enough, not the case on all airlines, not in every first class. Now, what do you think? Is this really fantastic first class? I always try to give the reports in the most objective possible way, and I'm just asking you now, do you think this is just the best business class in the world, or is it really full first class with everything you would expect from? Let me know in the comments. So, my dear ones, we've arrived at London Heathrow Airport. This was the British Airways First Class report from their brand new Dreamliner 787-10. I hope you really enjoyed this report. It gave you valuable and entertaining information. And if yes, give me a thumbs up, write in the comments, and also subscribe to the channel. There's lots of really interesting and also entertaining airline reports waiting for you, and destination reports from all continents of the world. And one really nice report would be this one. Check it out right away, and see you there here at Travel Sing Fly.